So let's talk about having a leader that has actually done it, right, and is willing to share, as opposed to a leader that hasn't done it but is saying you can do it. And maybe my philosophy is wrong, but I've always thought that any role that I'm going to step into as a leader, or I'm going to lead people, I first want to be great at what it is I'm telling them that they can or should do. So what I mean is, and I don't know if this is right. I think it is. If I was going to be a baseball coach, if you've never played baseball at a high level, the value that you bring to somebody that is looking to be a high level baseball player is probably very little. I mean, I think that's just the truth. So, as a real estate owner and broker, I still sell real estate as of now. This is March 2021. I'm not selling as much as I used to, just because time restraints and focus. And honestly, I don't want to sell as much as I do now. I want to help develop my agents. That's my reward now, is not only monetarily, but really emotionally. And that's why I got into this, for the emotional satisfaction. That's my goal. I want to help other agents have the life, if they want to, that now I'm able to have, or a greater life. But coming from nothing and being a poor kid and to get to where I'm at, I definitely am super grateful for it. And I'm not saying I've made it, or, I'm sure many people would look at my life and go, dude, you got nothing. But I know that I have a loving and dedicated wife, loving and dedicated children, and an amazing home as far as the people in it. And the life that we live behind closed doors is very harmonious, and it's not perfect by any means, but I'm super grateful for it, and it's more than I deserve. So let's talk about my leadership style as a quote-unquote competing broker. There's two ways to look at it, I guess. I think the first way, which is the way that I was taught from my broker, was the scarcity. A scarcity mindset of, man, you don't want to have a broker that sells, you're going to be competing against them. And I think in some ways that can be true. I mean, if you're a real estate agent and your broker is taking leads from the agents, obviously, yes, they're a thief, right? They're taking the agent's leads. So yes, that is not a good situation. That's a bad situation. Yes, 100% agree with that philosophy of a competing broker, if they are in fact competing against you. The other opposite side of that is, what if you have a broker or owner that has never sold real estate on a high level? And they're going to be there to go, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it, which is, I guess, better than nothing. But you're really wondering, okay, thanks for all the cheers and the claps on I can do it. How do I do it? And if they haven't sold real estate on a high level, they know they can't tell you. They know in their heart that that's value that they can't bring to you, because they haven't done it. That's just the truth. They can be a cheerleader all they want. And like I said, I guess it's better to have a cheerleader than to have no cheerleader. But gosh, I'd rather have, instead of a cheerleader, I'd rather just have a leader, somebody that has done it. So that has been my philosophy. I mean, I'm 15 years in the business. I'm about to celebrate a year of co-ownership in Realty One. And I had tons of agents say, Derek, why didn't you start your own deal years and years ago? Why would you wait till year 14, right? Number one, mentally, I don't think I was ready for it. I don't think that I had the maturity for it, to tell you the truth. I still was so focused and getting fulfilled on helping my clients that, having the job title of the broker owner, it didn't do anything for me. It didn't turn me on. And it still doesn't. Never was the guy that wanted to have my name on the building. And I'm not saying that if you're opposite of me, I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just sharing with you intimate parts of how I think. Having Ville Realty, yeah, it sounds cool. I love my last name, but I don't need that. And I'm not saying it's bad if I did. I'm just sharing with you how I feel. So my philosophy as a leader is, okay, you want to sell real estate in an efficient manner that gives your client a great level of service and gives you a great life. Let's just say that's your goal. That should be the goal of every real estate agent. I know how to do that. I've proven that I know how to do that. And I didn't have one good year, 2 good years. I mean, I averaged selling over 100 properties a year with just one assistant and one transaction coordinator for over a decade. My dad didn't own the brokerage. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Came from nothing. Got in the business in 2005, $65,000 in credit card debt, living with my girlfriend's parents. First 6 months in the business, and what was the hottest real estate market to date, and I made zero money the first 6 months. As a matter of fact, the broker tried to fire me. So I had to figure it out, and the fact that I had to go through all that, and that I had to suffer and be strategic and try things and fail, spend money, not get a return. That marketing doesn't work. Gosh dang it, man. I tried this. Gosh, they scammed me. They took my money. I sent out all these postcards. Nobody called me. I went on this listing. I said the wrong thing. I said something I shouldn't have. Maybe I didn't say something I shouldn't have. I didn't ask for the sale. They said they wanted to think about it, and I didn't know how to react to that. They said they wanted to pray about it before they signed. I didn't know what to say to that. I've been through it all. Every objection, every stall, every complaint. Successfully closed personally over 1,400 properties now. And what happened is at Century 21, it was great being the top agent, right? But I think it was the last year and a half I was there, I wanted to start a team. I wanted to start sharing. So I did start doing coaching for the office, just to share. And I brought on Summer Gardner, I remember Summer, as a buyer's agent kind of on my team, but the structure just didn't work at Century 21. There just wasn't enough money by the time the franchise, the broker, and me got a cut. There wasn't any money for the actual agent on the team, so that went poo-poo. And so here I was, I have all this knowledge, I have all this expertise, I have all this information that can help transform real estate agents' lives. And not stuff that I read in a book, not stuff that I philosophize on, stuff that I actually know for a fact works and still works today. What do? I was going to buy Century 21. I decided not to, and I was going to either open up a real estate office in Apple Valley, or I was going to go be an agent at another brokerage, and Janet at Realty One was the only other one that I would be interested in working at, just because I knew what everybody else had to offer, and I just wasn't interested in working with anybody else at that time. And so I met with Janet. She was an amazing person. It went well, and joined her, and immediately launched my team, the Ville Core Agents team, day one. And had some phenomenal people come on my team. Super, super proud of the people on my team. Our first year, we as a team sold 272 transactions our first year, which automatically made us number one in the Valley without a doubt. And the big aha moment for me was one of my newer agents had their biggest month to date. I think it was like $10,000. They made $10,000 that month. And that was the most money they had ever made in their life. And man, they were excited. And I was even more excited for them. As a matter of fact, I was so excited for them that it was like a high, like a euphoria. And it wasn't just for a couple minutes. This lasted days. I mean, I was just so excited for them, man. Like tears to my eyes, excited for days and days and days, because I was able to prove that I was able to teach what I had learned, and that it could help other people and help change their life and their families' lives and their kids' lives. I mean, just why are we doing anything? It's to help the people around us. And I was able to prove to myself that I could do it. And so it was at that moment that I got so much joy out of seeing this agent make $10,000 a month, even though I was making substantially more every month. The joy that I had for my income was this, and the joy that I had for their income doesn't even fit on the screen. It was two different things. And I really had just a crazy like aha moment. I'm like, Derek, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be selling the most amount of properties that you can sell. You're supposed to be helping other people structure their business, organize their business, so that their families can have a better life. And that's when I talked to Janet and I said, hey, I love what you've built. I love the people in the organization. I want to be more involved. And she's like, okay, well, what are you thinking? And now I know, because she told me what she was thinking when I went to her. She thought, oh, he probably wants to open up, a sub office of Realty One for his own. And that wasn't what I had in mind. I wanted to go 50-50 owner with her on everything. Like, I was so impressed with the people, impressed with the organization, impressed with the business plan, the compensation for the agents, that I'm like, this is going to change the real estate world. This thing that Realty One Group Empire has going is amazing. And when I joined the office, they had about 40 agents. And as of right now, which is March 2021, we have, I think, 134 agents. And so I believed in everything, the people, the plan, the compensation model, everything. And so thank God Janet was open to partnering with me. I was super honored and flattered that she was willing to share her baby with me, and to put her baby, this company and organization, and these people that have trusted her, into my arms for me to care for them and to be able to help them grow. And it's been a beautiful partnership, and it's worked amazing, and we're setting agents free. And that is really what we're doing. We're setting agents free. Our whole philosophy on our organization is we focus on us and what we do. We don't talk about the competition, quote unquote. We really don't feel there is any competition. We're not competing. We're all just doing our thing. We just focus on our people, helping them become better and having better lives. And that's why we say, hey, come build your empire here. Because with this compensation plan at Realty One, that's really what the agents are able to do. And so, not to mention, besides the compensation plan, the training and the support and the marketing, I mean, it's just everything. And I really feel like this is a special moment that, I mean, I hope this is around forever. It's probably not going to be. I mean, this moment with having Janet and I together, with the people that we have together, with the agents that we have together, and all of us sharing, mimics or is just like what I saw in my previous business of like-minded people getting together that have an ability and a desire to cheer on each other and to celebrate each other instead of hating and putting down each other. I mean, it's just such a special thing. So anyway, so that's what I'm doing. So I guess, and I feel like being a leader, and Janet too has proven herself to be a successful real estate agent, but being the fact that we've done it and that we're still actively selling and that we're not competing against the agents, meaning, I generate my own leads, the agents generate their own leads. And if I ever go on a listing appointment, which has happened to me, where I go on a listing and they mention another agent in my brokerage, I automatically disqualify myself from the listing. Immediately. It's not worth it for me. So I'm thinking of a listing right now I went on. They said, oh, do you work with so-and-so? And I'm like, yes, I do. I'm like, do you know so-and-so? Like, yeah, she was over here the other day, was talking to me, I was entertaining her. And I say, that's awesome. I'm going to disqualify myself right now. You're going to be in just as good a hands with so-and-so as you would be with me. And I want to encourage you to work with so-and-so. And I will not take a listing if I know that they have been talking to or working with one of my agents. So that gets rid of that whole compete thing. And it gives me the ability to still stay active and current and know what the market's doing. For instance, in 2020, we had COVID hit. And my philosophy with our agents was not business as usual. We're in a pandemic. There's a shift happening. Our message to our agents was not, oh, business as usual. Keep doing what you're doing. Nope, because I know as an agent, as an active selling real estate agent, that I had to pivot. And I knew what it was going to take, and that was the direction I was able to give to my agents. Hey, you better start leaning very, very heavily on social media and internet, because people aren't going to be going out. You're not going to see them at the baseball games. You're not going to see them at the restaurants. You're not going to see them at Starbucks. All that stuff is shutting down. People's attention is going to be more on social media, and their consumption of electronic and social is going to go through the roof. Start generating and placing ads and generating useful information on social immediately. Also, start kicking up your direct mail campaign. Also, start cold calling, because now people are home more. Get a hold of them. And our strategy, I mean, the results don't lie. That's like one of my favorite sayings. Results don't lie. Our agents have had extreme amount of growth. Our brokerage has an extreme amount of growth through the pandemic, where other brokerages and other companies they've gone down, and we've managed to skyrocket up. And I think that is all because I'm able to lead from a point of leadership of, I've been there, I know what it's like, and I'm currently selling, I'm facing the objections that you're handling. I know what it's like when you have a buyer right now and you've written 3-4 offers and you can't get one accepted. So I'm teaching and educating my team. This is how you handle that. This is how you set expectations for your client. This is how you enable them to continue to trust you, even if you're writing multiple offers and they're not getting them accepted. Also, these are things you can do to get your offer accepted. I know, because I'm a listing agent. I know what I want to see, and I know what my client, the seller, wants to see. This is what you as a buyer's agent need to do. And it's proven to be very, very successful and wonderful insight. So that's my philosophy of leadership, is leading from you can do it and this is how you do it, as opposed to the leadership of you can do it. I don't know how you can do it, but you can do it, right? That's what I think about leadership, and that's what I think about competing brokers.